Job 31:1 KJV. I have made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I look upon a young woman? Commonly, we believe that sexual immorality begins in the heart. We feel, think about it, and then act accordingly. However, sexual immorality doesn't originate in the heart. The heart is only the second stage of this process. Job was aware of these stages of sexual immorality. He understood that it always began with what one saw. If he looked lustfully at a woman, the heart would start contemplating it and eventually lead to sin. Job committed not to look lustfully at women. David couldn't make a similar covenant with his eyes, resulting in his fall into sin. The Bible provides numerous warnings about sexual immorality, but it's a challenging issue for many people, including Christians. One such warning is found in Proverbs 6:32. But he who commits adultery lacks understanding. He who does it destroys his own soul. Oh my God. This shows that not every sin is equal. In the end, every sin leads to death, but they are not the same. Lying doesn't result in the destruction of the soul. Stealing doesn't destroy the soul. However, the Bible states that the adulterer jeopardizes their own soul. There is something profoundly serious about sexual immorality that, I believe, we as human beings don't fully comprehend. Proverbs 9:16-17 states, "Whoever is simple, let him turn in here." And to him who lacks understanding, she says, "Stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant." Here, this woman quotes a well-known proverb, which is a half-truth, and we all know that a half-truth is a lie. In other words, she suggests that the illicit sex of an adulterer or fornicator is more gratifying than the sex between a husband and wife sanctioned by God. Hence the saying, "Stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant." However, truthfully, she omits the end of the story. Let's be honest. There is a pleasurable sensation in the act of sin. People don't engage in sin because it hurts them, but because there is pleasure in it. There is a temporary satisfaction in sin, and that's what we're talking about. Sin has its moments of pleasure for a limited period. Now, verse 18 mentions something conveniently omitted. He does not know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of hell. Wow. I remember the first time I read this verse, I literally stopped for 30 minutes and discussed it with my father. Listen again. He does not know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of hell. Sexual immorality is something not to be taken lightly. A significant area of sexual immorality in the church today is pornography. This has become a serious issue in contemporary Christianity, something that needs urgent attention in the church. You'll find many people who don't lust after the opposite sex, but consume pornography in secret. Some may preach against lustful looks, but can't stop watching pornography in their corners. The problem that pornography brings is not limited to addiction and sexual immorality. It goes beyond, affecting psychological aspects. Analyzing statistics on pornography consumption, I can say it's alarming. Around 40 million Americans watch it regularly. Additionally, it's known that 35% of all internet downloads are related to pornography. In the church, 1 in 5 young pastors consumes it regularly, and 1 in 7 adult pastors too. Over 70% of Christians or church members still struggle with this issue today, watching at least once a month. 90% of teenagers and 96% of young adults are somehow involved in the discussion of this topic, whether encouraging, accepting, or adopting a neutral stance. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not criticizing those who struggle to break free from this addiction. However, this is not something you should accept as an integral part of your life. If Job made a covenant with his eyes not to look lustfully at women, why wouldn't you make the same covenant to avoid consuming pornography? Many people due to this addiction, have lost the ability to relate properly to others. Moreover, many face depression because they loathe themselves for it. So, what happens in the invisible world when someone consumes pornography and it becomes an addiction? The straightforward and simple answer is that it turns into a stronghold. And once Satan establishes a stronghold in your life, he won't release it easily. That's why people want to stop but find it challenging. Years of struggling with the same sin. Why? Because it's a stronghold. 1, 2, 3 clicks and you're immersed in another world. And the longer you stay there, the deeper this stronghold becomes and the tighter its grip. The challenge with this stronghold is that it opens the door to other strongholds. Once pornography becomes a stronghold, lust becomes a stronghold, eventually leading to a third stronghold: fornication. Fornication, in turn, evolves into adultery when married, creating a cycle of strongholds. In the invisible world, watching pornography feeds lust, builds it, and provides everything it needs to thrive. I believe one of the main sources of regret in human life is lust. If you want a better future, it's crucial to confront lust. It clouds your judgment, destroys you, shatters your home, harms your health, drains your money, steals your joy, puts a wall between you and God, and throws you into a deeper abyss than you thought possible. Lust clouds your mind and judgment, undermining your ability to make wise decisions. Lust will make a man renounce and destroy a 20-year marriage for just 10 minutes of pleasure. Isn't it truly foolish for someone who has built a 20-year marriage to forsake his wife and children to pursue fleeting moments of satisfaction with another person? What is the wisdom behind a man leaving his partner to pursue another man's wife? Lust blinds the man and robs him of his wisdom and strength. And one of the biggest lies you'll hear is that lust is a problem only for men. No, it's not. Women struggle with it just as much as men. Often people do certain things and try to blame the devil when in fact it's their lust that led them to act that way. Why do you think Job made a covenant with his eyes? The idea of a covenant, the term covenant, has its origin in the Latin word convenire, meaning a coming together. It presupposes two or more parties coming together to make a contract, agreeing on promises, stipulations, privileges, and responsibilities. He was in agreement with his eyes about what he would look at. Job 31.1 says, "I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid?" Lust is not something to be played with. In 2 Samuel 11:1-2, we see that David's sin began when he saw Bathsheba. The eyes look and see, then the heart stores it up, and the brain starts processing it, making you think about it all the time. When you commit sexual sin, you're not sinning against other people, not sinning outside your body, not sinning to destroy other people's lives, but you're sinning against your own body. 1 Corinthians 6:18, KJV says, "Flee fornication. Every sin that a man does is outside the body, but he that commits fornicarion sins against his own body. Flee from sexual sins and all forms of sexual immorality. Flee from the sources of sexual sin." Biblical discoveries. Your participation is crucial. Like to show your support, share to spread the message, and comment to express your reflections and questions.